Howdy y'all, it's Angela. So I think I've had a revelation. Tell me what you think. So in the week or so since I've put out the first video about Article 14, or excuse me, 14th Amendment, Section 3, there's been some news, some leaks from the Justice Department. First of all, we see that William Barr has instructed his prosecutors, federal prosecutors, to pursue insurrection charges whenever possible. Fantastic, right? I don't know about you, but the first thought I had when I saw that was, what about the politicians who, allowed them to carry on this way, right? And within a day or so, ta-da! Ask and you shall receive. That's been happening a lot lately. Thanks. God is good. Anyway, so then it's leaked that Bill Barr has suggested Jenny Durkin be looked into for her role in allowing CHOP in the murders and the destruction in her city, and that's Seattle. And I'm sure Portland's on right after, especially Portland, because they have the federal courthouse. Anyways, so if you start thinking about it, okay, Bill Barr, there's something happening. He's setting stuff up. So that got me thinking about our buddy, what's his name? Victorberger. Remember him? Our sewer socialist from Wisconsin that they wouldn't allow to be sworn in and take a seat in Congress? Yeah, that was, he was elected in 1918. He was not allowed to take his seat during inauguration during 1919. He tried again in 1920, and they, again, wouldn't allow him. So why was that? Was it just because he distributed the anti-interventionist pamphlets that I mentioned in the first video? As you may recall, I had suggested that Victorberger, if we were going to have a socialist, this was the one. I retract. That was an ill-informed, unresearched statement. I retract. This guy was like the great granddaddy of AOC. It's really fascinating. You should look at the politics of early 20th century progressives versus socialists in Wisconsin. It's the great granddaddy of AOC versus Nancy Pelosi. It's a really, nothing's changed. You change out some names and some of the current events, but the politics, the ideology are very much the same, and we'll get back to that in a minute. So Victorberger, as I mentioned before, he didn't just distribute those pamphlets. Victorberger was convicted of the Espionage Act of 1918. I suspect it was put into place for people like Victorberger. This was during the time right after World War I, when the Wilson administration was trying to get America into the League of Nations, which was his clear pet project, maybe from day one, who knows. But so the Wilson administration had clear designs to get the United States to, be part of the League of Nations. As many of you probably are well aware, we did not participate in the League of Nations. It ultimately failed. It's the grandfather or the father of the United Nations, which should soon fail, for the love of God. Anyway, so Victorberger was actually convicted. There we go. I think that's what's happening. I think that you can't just you can't merely accuse somebody and then hold them from being sworn in, and taking their lawfully elected seat. Correct? I think what's happening is they have to set precedent. I think they have to get at least one elected official prosecuted, and then they've set precedent, and they have to, they're going to roll up all the way up the chain. So going back to what I was saying about not being able to hold office by rights, yes, I believe that the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris campaign should not be allowed to be sworn in. However, they would not have been convicted of a crime by that point. However, after the election, with all the shenanigans, I think this might be something that they're building towards. I think we prevent them both from the potential, not the potential, just a theory. I have absolutely nothing to base this on except dwelling. I just keep dwelling on the matter. I think there's a potential that if he can get one prosecution prior, or one at least indictment prior, he can have them under indictment, and there's potential if they're at least under indictment in this country, because as we know, Biden's under indictment, is he not, over in Ukraine? Or he might not be under indictment, but he is a person of interest. Anyway, I think if they're under indictment, at least there's a very good chance they cannot be sworn in. Just a theory. But so much has come out since I did that first video that has to do with Bill Barr's Justice Department looking into insurrection, not just at the minion level, but at the higher up level, the ones that allowed this. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think here's another point. Here's another interesting point. William Berger, after Wilson was dead and our League of Nation hopes, or his League of Nation hopes were dashed, the Progressive League of Nation hopes were dashed, William Berger was actually allowed to take office. He was elected once again in 1922, and in 1923 they allowed him to take office. He served for 6 years, till 1929. I guess when the stock market crashed, that probably didn't work out really well for the socialists, right? Well, no, it might have. Why wouldn't he have stayed? Anyway, I was thinking of the New Deal. Anyway, I think that's what's going on. I think that a Bill Barr is trying to build. You can't just, we're not in the perpetual now. He's got to build cases. And I think that the Pennsylvania judge that just put out that beautiful ruling about the overreach and the wholly unconstitutional actions of the Pennsylvania governor and the health department. I believe, if you haven't seen that, for a constitutionalist like me, that's constitution porn. You should watch it. Viva Fry does a nice breakdown of it. It's a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Viva Fry is on YouTube. He's a Montreal litigator turned YouTuber who does these things called vlogs. Anyways, guys, I'm Angela. Talk to your kids about politics before someone else does. Clearly, we see the results of what happens when you don't. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. I am now on Rumble. I'm excited about it. Let me know what you think of this video, about this hypothesis, okay? It's just a theory. What do you think? Talk to you later. Bye!